Hello gorgeous people and welcome back to my channel. For today's video, as you can see by the title, I'm doing a full face of my favorite makeup products. So if you'd like to see how I created this look using most of my faves, then please keep watching. My deepest apologies if you do hear a bit of like background noise. There's my fan blowing because it's like 5,000,000% humidity in here right now and I am sweating, girl. And also there is construction going on across the road, so if you hear a bit of beeping, I'm sorry. As for my favourite primer, it would probably have to be my Tatcha the Silk Canvas. For those of you who haven't been on my Instagram lately, I am doing another giveaway and the winner will receive a Tatcha Silk Canvas, so make sure you're entered in that. You all definitely need to try this. This is heaven in a little tub. My next favourite product for primer would have to be the Benefit Professional. Usually I wouldn't go in with this if I've gone in with my Tatcha because that is fairly pore minimizing itself, so I'm just going to use a teeny weeny little bit just in like my most problem areas, which is kind of like the apples of my cheeks about here and in the center of my forehead. Moving on to foundation, my favourite foundation that I've tried would have to be the Estee Lauder Double Wear. I love a full coverage foundation that doesn't crease and lasts the whole night, and that is what this is renowned for, so I'm so glad I finally tried it. So my current favourite contour product would have to be the Clinique Curvy Contour Chubby Stick. Last time I used this on this foundation, it didn't end so well, so I'm just going to use a little bit and see how I go. It's just very hard to blend out over this foundation because this foundation becomes very, very sticky and doesn't move. So I'm just going to go very like light-handed. See what I mean? It's just, I don't know, it doesn't want to move on this foundation. I'm going to leave it at that. I'm not going to do my forehead because last time it took off a little bit of product on my forehead. So moving on to concealer, my favourite concealer would have to be the infamous Tarte Shape Tape. Now this is a little bit too light for me, so I'm only going to use a little bit. And I mean a little bit. Just where I feel like I need it. Now this product also tends to take off the foundation a little bit, so fingers crossed it doesn't today. It's not usually so much around the eyes, but more so down the bridge of my nose. Yep. The product has started coming off my nose, so I'm a bit annoyed. I'm just going to use a tiny bit more of my Estee Lauder and just try to put it back on my nose. Moving straight in with translucent powder, my favourite translucent powder would have to be my Laura Mercier, but she's almost empty. I know, we're getting something. I swear this was empty last time I checked, what the hell. If I'm not using my Laura Mercier powder and it's run out, then I go in with my Face of Australia translucent powder. You can just buy this from like Priceline, so it's very cheap. Definitely a good alternative to like a high-end product. So this is my It's Getting Freaking Hot hairdo. So I just have to re-straighten that later. And that was my green cordial to keep me hydrated. Now for my contour, I just like to use the Hoola by Benefit. That's definitely a fave. And I just use the little brush that it comes with because I think it's perfect shaped. For blush, which is something that I've been liking a bit more recently, I just like to use this single pan here by Australis. I've thrown out the packaging, so I can't remember what it's called. Unfortunately, I'm sorry, so I'm just going to put a tiny bit of that on, just literally so you can just see the colour. I'm not a very big blush wearer. Now for highlighter, my favorite highlighter, which I'm sure you've already seen by now, is my Tarte's Pro Glow To Go, and just using this middle shade here called Burst. It's just like a nice champagne-y gold. Now I want it to be a bit poppin' today, so I'm just going to give my little brush a tiny spray of Fix Plus. I just like to go in now with a little bit of Urban Decay All Nighter, just to kind of lock the first half of my face in place. Moving on to eyeshadow, I would have to say my Laura Lee Cat's Pajamas palette is my favourite palette I've bought so far. The colours are super pigmented, they're easy to blend, and the colours themselves are just gorgeous. You can do so many looks with all these. And I love the way that like orange and purple look together, and I'm a sucker for a shimmery gold, as we all know. So definitely, if you don't have this and you love these colours, awesome palette. So firstly, for the base of my eyes, I'm just going to take a Real Techniques setting brush and just take this kind of off-white colour here called Okie Dokie, and just put that over my eyes to help everything blend out. So next, taking a fluffy blending brush, this here is the Zoeva 228 Luxe Crease. I'm just going to take this shade here called Bomb Diggity and just run that kind of through my crease, working up towards the eyebrow as a transition. Like I've said before, I'm definitely someone who likes to build up their colour eyeshadow and like kind of blending out as I'm going. I know some people put on a lot of colour and then blend. I have not yet mastered that technique, but that being said, I haven't really tried it either, so hence why the eyeshadow is looking quite pale at the moment. I'm just going to get more of that colour and then start deepening it, making it a bit more noticeable. So does anyone actually match their eyeshadow look with what they're wearing? Because I'm wearing blue today and I'm doing like orange and purple and gold eyeshadow. So I don't feel like it's really going to go together, but do I care? Not really. Like I was going to be wearing a yellow dress, and yellow and purple go together nicely, I think. Well, I think anyway. But as I started doing this and I remember that I didn't want to wear my yellow dress anymore, I was like, is this going to match my outfit? And then I thought, I don't care. So today, I should probably tell you as to why I'm mentioning the clothes. I'm just going to like a garden bar with my girlfriends who I went to TAFE with, and for the past few years we've tried to catch up like around Christmas time, and we buy each other like a small little gift, kind of like a Secret Santa type thing, and then yeah, we'll just get together, have a few cocktails, catch up, be festive and merry, etc, etc. So yeah, that is today, and I'm really looking forward to it. It's always a fun time. So next, taking a smaller fluffy brush, this is the Zoeva 231 Luxe Petite Crease with a eyelash particle stuck to it. I'm just going to take this orangey shade here called Cray Cray. Not sure if I mentioned what that last one was. It's Bomb Diggity. And then I'm just going to work this again through the crease and keeping it more so on the outer corner. See, check out that pigment. Thank you, Laura Lee, for making this palette. I'm going to go in with another smaller brush, like a little pencil brush this time, and just take this shade here called Kooky. And that is going to be focused mainly on my outer corner and then about halfway across the crease. And then going back in with our last blending brush, we're just going to blend that out. just going to further deepen up that corner with that purple now that that's kind of been like blended out. Now I'm just going to take a tiny little bit of the black shade here called Oddball. This here is a very pigmented black, so I'm just picking up the tiniest little dot and I'm just going to kind of smoke that along the outer half of the lower lash line, and also like working it quite tight into the outer corner just to give it a tiny bit more definition. Just literally like that much. And then using a tiny bit of that shade Kooky again, we're just going to blend that black out a little bit. I just love like the subtle definition that adding that tiny little bit of black gives to the eye. Now while we're here for the lower lash line, I'm still going to take that shade Kooky on that pencil brush, or on a pencil brush. I'm just going to smoke that kind of along the first half of the lower lash line. Taking the other pencil brush with a tiny bit of that shade Oddball, the black, I'm just going to put that on like the very kind of outer corner, just so it matches in with the top. And taking more Kooky, gonna blend that out a little bit. And then going back in with that shade Cray Cray on a fluffy brush, just gonna smoke that from like outer corner to inner corner. Then I'm also going to put a little bit of that on the center of the lid and blend it into the purple. And then I'm going to add a little bit more purple. And then I'm going to blend these edges. And I might put a little bit of Bomb Diggity slightly further down the lower lash line. A bit more Bomb Diggity on our blending brush. I'm just blending up here again. Alright, so for the inner corner of my eye, I'm just using my Stila Shimmer and Glow liquid eyeshadow in the shade Starlight, just like as a base. So I'm just going to take a small synthetic like packer brush and just take a little bit of that off the applicator and just start patting it on. I'm just kind of putting it on roughly at the minute. Because like I said, it is just a base, because we are going back in with the Laura Lee Cat's Pajamas and going over the top of that with Scatterbrain. I'm just going to give my brush a 1-2 Fix Plus. Now we're going to go over the top of that with the Scatterbrain. Love it. I mean, Scatterbrain on its own is a gorgeous, gorgeous shadow, but I just wanted it to pop. P.O.P. on the lid. Just taking a smaller, more dense brush, I'm just going to grab a bit more of that just to help me blend out this edge here. Alright, going back in. I do that way too often. Going back in with that shade Cookie, we're going to blend these two together. Going back in with our gold and just helping blend again. Cool, and that's probably like one of my favorite, if not my favorite, eyeshadow looks to do. I love it. Gold looks great with green eyes, purple looks great with green eyes, and why not mix them together? For my eyebrows, I'm using my Chi Chi Brow Pomade in the shade Taupe. I'm not really sure if I prefer this over the Anastasia Dip Brow because they are pretty much on par with each other in the way that they apply. They're both like a creamy kind of product. They both like don't really smudge or anything. I would say the Anastasia one is like more smudge proof. I would have to say I do prefer the Anastasia pomade over this if I could afford it all the time, and if the shade that I got was a better match. I currently have like a dark brown shade in the Anastasia, so it's just like a little bit too dark, so I do tend to reach for this more. If I could choose to have a constant supply of either one, it would probably be the Anastasia pomade, but when it comes to price, this is pretty much a dupe, but just a lot cheaper. So I'm officially binning my favorite go-to eyebrow product, which is the Ready Set Brow by Benefit, because she is empty. And we're just going to pretend I use that, but because I'm out, I am going old school, hun. I am using some Swatch Cough Super Styling Hairspray. Just on an old kind of yuck spoolie brush. Because otherwise these eyebrows aren't going to be staying in place. This is what I used to do when I was like fresh 18. And then you just brush them through like normal. Does same, if not better job. And at like a quarter of the price. For my lipstick, my favorite product at the moment is my Chi Chi matte lipstick in the shade Checkin' In. But of course we all know that already. For mascara, one of my faves at the moment would have to be the Benefit Roller Lash. I'm going to coat my top and bottom lashes with this and then go in with some false lashes afterwards. Even though I don't usually do it that way, but this is one of my favourite mascaras, so. I haven't fully coated my lashes like I would if I wasn't wearing false ones and I was just doing mascara. I'm just putting enough on so that the lashes blend in together. Now for my favourite false lashes, they would have to be the Ilua Texture number 117s. I have been using these pretty much since I started like really loving makeup. But I'm just going to use some ones that I've already used previously because they are reusable and they're still in good condition. So that's what we love in a lash. And then my all-time favourite eyelash glue, if you've watched my how to apply false lashes video, is the Revlon lash glue. I think this absolutely beats any other glue I've ever tried. I've tried the Duo one and hun, I'm not impressed. This is so much better, so much tackier, they last longer, everything better in every way possible than that glue, I think, anyway. Okay, that didn't go too bad. I feel like it's still easier to apply them first and do mascara afterwards because you've not got like long lashes in the way that you have to try fight through. But not as bad as I remembered. Now for my next trick. I feel like my eyelashes though do look blacker because I have got more mascara on. So maybe I might start doing it this way. Who knows? So I'll keep you updated in like my next video when I do my lashes again, and then you'll see which way I'm doing them, and then you'll be like, yep, Erin likes that way now, or no she doesn't. Just gonna top up my highlight And then I might use that same highlight to highlight my brow bone. So here's my completed look using pretty much all of my favorite products. I love how this turned out and I can't wait to hit the Merrywell with my girls and get our drink on. So if you did like the look I created and you enjoyed my video, please make sure you give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. That'd be very, very, very appreciated, and I can't wait to see you all in my next video.